Turning around your business sucks. And I've had to do it multiple times. And I've also had to help run a whole bunch of turnarounds for our portfolio companies. And honestly, it's a simple orientation in how you solve the problem will turn a turnaround into one of the greatest value moments for your B2B business. So I'm going to take you through our tried and tested framework that we operate every time at Counterparts that allows us to unleash the value of a business and take advantage of a crisis. I've done this when I've only had 7 days of payroll, 30 days of payroll, or when I just realized that the place that we were going was completely the wrong place and I needed to rapidly turn around and give the business a new direction. And the orientation it's really simple. It's taking a mindset of a victimhood of, I need to stay alive, and changing it and transforming it to sticking with it. In a really simple sense, I need to stay alive until I can figure this out, to holy crap, this was a big problem I wasn't expecting. The lofty vision is still the same. Let's go further into the vision and commit to it to figure out our way out of it. As Winston Churchill said, the only way through hell is through. Sticking with it is our through motion. Staying alive is just pushing off the inevitable by trying to get the cash balance back up. If you do this every time, you would need to take on a lot less, avoid a lot of capital, keep your ownership, and any type of debt that might actually help you get there, like factoring. Fundamentally, if your business is in a downward spiral at all, most of those people won't actually help you, so it's a waste of time and effort. But if you focus on sticking with it and going further into the problem and going after bigger value creation events, you'll find that you'll not only get your business leaner, people will be more incentivized, and your staff can actually move in an epic fashion, turning a lot of your potential A players into counterparts for you and bigger parts of the value creation of your business. To me, staying alive is a diminishing return game, and sticking with it is the fundamental way out of a valley of despair. And you will never avoid it entirely unless you're super lucky, which is rare, when building your business, that you don't actually fall into the valley of despair and go up the other side. This tried and tested step-by-step framework will help you get there. It'll be uncomfortable, but using our framework will keep you calm, cool-headed, and allow you to go further into the problem with gusto. So what is it? Well, the first step of our sticking with it framework is really simple. Write everything down, everything that you're thinking, everything that you've done, everything that's led to this moment. And we call it a memo, but we also call it something really simple, which is telling the truth. A lot of founders, a lot of CEOs try to play internal politics when there is a problem, when they should really just put it out there and tell people what's going on. They do it because they're worried about people's livelihood, that you've taken risks on, and you think that you've made the decision, so you want to protect them. But really not telling the truth is actually more detrimental to their livelihood and well-being than just telling the truth. It also, by telling the truth, allows them to make a choice. Will they stick with it and help you get there? Are they a real believer? Or were they just there because it was well-paying, it was a good environment, and we thought it was a good idea? That choice is the difference between an A and a B player, and someone that wants to go on a fellowship and someone that just wants to sit in a job function. And when you build a B2B business, you probably really need a fellowship if you're starting out and you're trying to do something bold. After you tell the truth, though, the next step is really important. You can't go right into orders mode. You have to go into shared work, which means creating space for people around you to step into the things that you're not good at or to the problem itself. And I like to say this, don't let your protected defensive mindset of being a leader and ego get in the way of someone missing their own epic story. They might want to be courageous. They might want to step in. They might even believe more than you in the moment right now, sticking with it. If you smother them with control, you smother them with data, you smother them with actions and tasks, you never really allow the space for them to step into who they could be. So the second step of our sticking with it framework is creating space for the others around you to lean into their own epic story. The next step is one that no one wants to do, but everyone has to do, which is drop everything in the business that's just not acquiring new sales. everything that you should be doing should be focused on revenue generating activity that creates cash flow, that supports your ability to stick with it, go further into the problem and solve it. It also allows you to do a ruthless inventory of your customers, whether they can actually be upsold, whether they're really believers, or really they're just costing us money and it just feels good to have more customers. So this moment is a really great moment because pretty much anything that's not collecting cash and generating sales, we want to stop doing, whether it's products, whether it's operations, whether it's fulfillment without an upsell. We have to put everything on pause and put all of our time, resources, and people towards getting more cash in the business really quickly. And the easiest way to do that is more sales. It's not raising debt. It's not raising capital. This is fundamentally the easiest way to do it. Everyone knows how to do it, and you have to orientate them to it. So after people step in with their epic journey, it makes it really easy to drop everything and focus all in on sales. That's step number 3. Step number 4 is set a lofty goal. Set a lofty goal for 60 days, 90 days, or 30 days out. Whatever you think is actually more amenable to your situation. Our preference is always setting a 90-day goal. It provides more balance, it's less drastic, but it has to be lofty. And that lofty number has to be a revenue and profit target. Here is how much sales we're looking to make, and here is how much cash we're looking to create. Once we have that goal, we can do another ruthless inventory of what we're doing, what we're selling, what we're offering, and clean up everything that doesn't actually get us close to that goal, or every conversation in our pipeline that's never going to get there that we're just sort of holding on to and hoping. Relentless focus is the game now, and we've just anchored the aspiration. So that's step number 4. Create a lofty revenue and profit goal for the business to execute in a 30 or 90-day period, so people know that there can be a way out and there is a milestone towards sticking with it. The 5th thing we then do is we simplify the business down to one offer for that 90-day period. Here is exactly what we're selling to this type of customer. Everything else we're not selling. Why? Focus. That's it. Relentless focus on your most profitable offer for your B2B business will get you out of this moment faster than anything else. It also allows you to get super efficient and super effective at delivering it. And if it is your most strategic offer and you're holding on to all these other things, it actually might provide some clarity to how your business creates value and builds you up to be better later. So we want to focus entirely on one offer to get us through versus a whole bunch of different offers. It's just not possible. It's going to increase our CAC. It's going to distract people. It's going to make people think it's still business as usual. But if we're actually make the trade-off and say, we're not selling any of these other things again until we're out of this situation, we're just going to sell this one thing, it makes it a very real conversation, and the business actually gets the focus from dropping things and letting go and getting permission to do so. There's nothing better than having all of your brain power in the business on one goal and one offer, and taking advantage of the crisis allows you to do that. The last step we want to do, and it's the biggest step that people miss, and it's the one that annoys me the most, is incentivize this process across the whole team. In moments of a crisis, one of the reasons why you might be in the crisis is you've got too many offers, you made too many bets. But one of the underlying reasons is that the people you have hired may be the wrong people, but we're going to figure that out when they step into it and hear the truth. Or they're just not incentivized the right way to sell the offer that you have. Whether it's a co-founder, whether it's a salesperson, whether it's an engineer, effectively anyone that's joining a high-stakes small business where it's all on the line to make it happen and make the bread, is incentivized by some form of cash or valuation or some sort of value creation event, because they're making a shit ton of risk happen in their personal lives in order to help the lofty vision occur. So the last thing we must do is change our incentive structure and make sure it aligns to where we're at now. The risk posture of your business has changed. It's your job as a leader to go, okay, our back's against the wall, but if we get through this, this is how much money you're going to make, this is how much equity you're going to earn, and this is how we're going to work together. And if you had this moment where someone has stepped into the epic space, maybe it's time to change their incentive structure from an employee to a counterpart or a partner, and evaluate the co-founders that you have and see if they've done the same thing. If they haven't, you might just be giving people co-founder titles So it feels good on you and you feel less risky, but you don't really have any partners. So at this time, do a page turn, match the incentives to the focus of the business, allow everyone to access them, or communicate how the moment works for them and how their incentives are going to change. So if we stick with it and we get through this hole, we all win big together. So that is our turnaround framework, where most people approach the situation of just staying alive and trying to raise capital. We're fundamentally focused on sticking with it, seeing the crisis as a moment of huge business value, efficiency, and effectiveness, and going further into the problem to tackle the problem that no one in the market is. Remember, if we're in this situation, we've either got the wrong offer, the wrong people, or we've made too many of the wrong bets. So it's a great time to transform versus just stay alive through cash transactions or anything that could keep the business afloat and avoiding the truth. It's a simple 6-step process, which includes telling the truth, creating space for others to be epic in this journey versus smothering them, dropping everything that's not generating sales, setting a lofty sales and profitability target so there's an end state to the situation we're in, focusing on one offer that's a high ticket offer that has the most profit, and then incentivizing everyone to sell so we can reach that goal extremely fast. Don't be the person that doesn't let their staff step in, that doesn't tell the truth, and fundamentally doesn't make hard decisions on trade-offs to incentivize people to prevail. Be the person and the leader as a founder that creates the space for your business, that allows people to see that there is a way through hell and the only way is through. This is our 6-step process. It'll help you move and transform your business in a moment of crisis from that mindset of we've just got to stay alive to this is a moment in the valley of despair. Let's stick with it and go up the other side, prevail, and hit our lofty vision.